So cold outreach versus warm outreach, and why cold outreach is actually keeping you broke and stuck below 10K to 30K per month with your social media marketing agency, and what you should do instead. Now guys, the reason why I'm making this video here in the first place is because I am getting so sick and tired of being sick and tired of saying the same things about cold outreach, and also seeing people that have reached out to me personally to tell me about their cold outreach journey, just reach out to me for help in general with their actual agency itself, because they are struggling to get consistent meetings on their calendar, which is leading them to have empty pockets. No meetings equals no clients, guys. So I'm going to break down in today's video exactly what warm outreach is and why you should do it instead of doing cold outreach. Now, without any further ado, let's jump straight into my computer for this, because we've got no time to mess about, guys. Let's actually break down what cold outreach is. And honestly, guys, I'm starting to get to a point where I'm just genuinely telling people to stay far away from doing cold outreach. In fact, I would actually say this, and got to look into the camera for this. If you're doing some sort of outreach or any form of outreach right now for your agency, and it's not going to grow you an audience long term, aka cold emails doesn't grow you an audience long term, doing cold calls doesn't grow you an audience long term, I would seriously reconsider your entire approach, especially if you want to be in this game long term. That's the key. If you want to be in this game long term, have long term success, not just have a 10K month 1 month and then just be like broke the next months. You want to consider making sure that you're using a platform that allows you to build an audience long term. This is how all these gurus are getting rich. It's how I'm going to get extremely rich. It's how Alex Amosi got rich. It's how Iman Gaji got rich. I highly recommend you start building some sort of audience in some way, shape, or form. And you don't have to be a YouTuber to do this, by the way, guys. So let's break down what cold outreach is. So cold outreach, which as we all pretty much know, if not, I'm just going to break this down. Cold outreach is when you contact people via like email, messages, SMS, that sort of stuff, or, you know, by cold calling them, and you have no prior relationship with them. So you're contacting strangers, basically, with the purpose of pitching your product, services / meeting, or, you know, trying to get them on a meeting so you can pitch them. It's much harder to achieve success than warm outreach because you don't have a relationship prior to reaching out to that person. So for example, cold outreach is literally picking up the phone and calling a random business owner that you have no idea, doesn't know who basically you are. Long story short, it's like you're reaching out to strangers. Whereas warm outreach is a method in which you communicate with somebody who knows you / has seen your face and can see a profile about you. They can see like your statistics, who you are, where you're from. They can see some sort of track record and information about you. Typically, this is achieved through what I like to call people collecting on social media platforms such as LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or using platforms such as Upwork, because you can actually build an audience on there, or you build your platform on there, should I say, your actual profile. This type of outreach builds you an audience / asset long term the more you use it. So the more you use warm outreach, the better it gets, because it compounds on itself, which allows you to build an audience / a real business asset over a period of whenever you're using it. So for example, let's say you're doing cold outreach versus warm outreach. Warm outreach will actually build you a valuable asset 6 months, 12 months, 2 years down the line. That's what you want, by the way. It's how all of your favorite gurus like Iman Gaji are making ridiculous amounts of money every single month. So with warm outreach, you are killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because warm outreach allows you to still do outreach to people that are familiar now with your face, but it also builds you an audience long term. So it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. I recommend you all start switching to warm outreach. In fact, if you don't believe me, I'm pretty sure you might have seen this from previous video, but these are people that are literally reaching out to me like via DMs. These are 2 DMs from 2 different people. This is the dude that commented. So this dude right here sent 8,000 cold emails, hundreds of cold calls, and he's done many hundreds of DMs. He's only set 1 meeting from 3 months worth of work. And the only client he was able to close as a result of that was a free trial client where he is actually paying the client's ad spend. So after 3 months worth of work, almost 9,000 outreach, he's the one that's paying the client. Like, that's absolutely insane, guys. Here's another, and if you think that's a fluke, by the way, here's 2 more people that actually popped up to me. Oh, that's actually the same dude here. This is the same dude, so ignore this. But here's another dude. This dude is doing 200 cold emails a day, which if you do the math, Monday to Friday, it works out to be about 4,000 emails per month, which is, you know, been doing this for a period of 4 months. So he's literally done 16,000 cold emails, got 0 clients, and he's 10K down because he bought one of the top gurus, mentorship programs for almost 10 grand. This is after spending 10 grand on what he thought was a very good SMMA program from one of the top dudes on YouTube. I'm not going to say any names or anything like that. But here's another dude, another 6,000 outreach. So in total, if you actually do the maths, there's 30,000 outreach between 3 people in 3 different niches, 3 different agency owners. Done 30,000 cold outreach and not a single paying client to show for it. So here's another person, 4,000 outreach on IG. So the person, here's victim number 4. That's 34,000 outreach. This is literally another person, and over 8,000 Instagram DMs. I think I did the maths wrong, I believe. Yeah, anyway, long story short, that's a bunch of cold outreach, put it that way. It's over 38,000. I think it's actually over 40,000 outreach between all 5 of these people, right? and not a single paying client inside. That's thousands of dollars wasted, hundreds of hours wasted, lots of months wasted. And here's the craziest thing. I know somebody's going to be on this in the comment section saying, yeah, but they probably have really bad offers. These guys are literally trying to sign clients for free and then paying their clients ad spend. So how is that a bad offer? Please explain to me how you're going to get a better offer than working for free. And then on top of that, you're actually opting and offering to pay your clients ad spend. You cannot get a better offer than that, is what I'm trying to say. So don't even be that guy in the comment section that's going to be like, yeah, but these guys are just probably bad at sales, or they probably have like a bad offer or something like that. Literally, the dude that did 8,000 outreach, right, is working for free and he's paying his clients ad spend. The dude is literally inside a 10K mentorship program, right? From one of and the other dude, should I say this guy right here, this dude right here that did 14,000 emails is literally in, and he's doing looms, all that sort of stuff. He's literally inside one of the top dudes SMA programs that's on YouTube. You probably watch his videos. You probably came from one of his videos, watch one of my videos, to be honest with you. Here's an actual person that literally hit the nail on the head. The point of diminishing returns is among us. I've been trying to say this in my YouTube videos, but nobody's listening. And this person, as you know, you can see, she replied to my story and she said, it will be a snowball effect, because I'm obviously talking about this pretty much daily on my Instagram. So make sure you follow me. I'm talking about this daily. She replied and she said, look, Montel, it's going to be a snowball effect. If you think about it, there's going to be more new agencies that are going to come onto the market and start providing insane offers for cheap. Like, we pay for your ads, free trials, you can cancel anytime. More and more companies are then going to start requiring these features and these offers. And what this is going to result in is only agencies with a personal brand that's going to be able to get high ticket clients entering the SMA space. So it's going to become harder and harder, and it's going to take longer and longer. And I keep saying this in my YouTube videos, but nobody seems to be listening. We've hit what you call the point of diminishing returns, which basically states that we've hit a point now where it's like everybody has really good copy, because you can just literally leverage like AI copy and writing services. Like, you can easily just write good copy. Everybody's gone through all these top programs now and everybody's got the same friggin' scripts. And if you haven't got the same script, you're literally probably using some AI, or you're taking a copywriting script. Put it this way, everybody year on year, their offer is going to be stronger. Everybody's copy is going to get better and better and better and better. So everybody's got really good copy, really good offers, and they're still blasting out cold outreach. What that's going to basically in turn and kind of like create is this snowball effect where it just becomes harder and harder to get clients. Because it's almost like, if everybody has gold, then gold's no longer special. If everybody has like a Lamborghini, Lamborghinis are no longer special, is what I'm trying to say. And it's a race to the bottom. What you need to be doing is attracting inbound clients instead. And as you can see, here's a dude that literally says that he's been doing cold outreach. Here's the craziest thing. He claims that cold outreach works for him. And then he says, the very next message, I ran an ad for 2 weeks and got 9 set appointments. That's more than what I've gotten from cold calling in his entire lifetime. I just literally replied to him, look, I'm not a genius or anything, but that sounds like you should probably double down on the ads. Let's not be real here. I don't know why everybody tries to justify, just because you can get 1 or 2 clients here and there from like cold calling off the off chance of like luck and you hit somebody at the right time, doesn't mean it's a great way to scale a business predictably and long term. It's a terrible way, in fact. Absolutely terrible. That's why you don't see like people like Iman Gadget doing cold outreach right now to sell like Educate or whatever it's called. Here's Brandon, one of my students, basically no cold outreach. He got 2 inbound leads and he's, setting up 2 calls here. Here's Brandon again. Here's another inbound lead. Here's one of my brand new students. He literally says that he totally underestimated the effectiveness of Upwork. He literally sent 2 outreach out and he's already got a lead biting already. Here's me. I closed 2 or 3 clients actually just last week. I think it was on like 3-4 days ago actually, to be honest with you. 18 inbound meetings set in 4 days. That's 4.5 meetings set a day. I've spent only $192 on ads, which is like 326 USD at the time, which basically means my cost per book call is literally $13. So every $13 I spend on building my hybrid personal brand, I bring in a new meeting booked, which is obviously what we want. We want booked meetings. So let's break down cold outreach. I'm just going to go over these very, very quickly as to why I don't believe in cold outreach anymore. I just genuinely think you should stay away from it. Everybody's doing it, so you probably shouldn't do it. If everybody zigs to the left, you probably want to zag to the right, to be honest with you. So cold outreach, let's break it down, right? Cold outreach is impersonal, even when you personalize it. Because when you think about what cold outreach is, it's just a voice, a blank voice over a phone. If you cold call somebody, they don't know who you are. They don't care about who you are. You've interrupted their day. They really just don't care. You're just a voice on their mobile phone. They've not seen your face. They don't know who you are. If it's a cold email, it's just a piece of text. If it's a cold Instagram DM, they probably still don't care about who you are as well, because nobody really likes cold DMs, especially if you don't follow each other and all that crazy stuff. So it's just a piece of HTML like text on a screen, and you guys are wondering why it's not converting. It's literally a piece. I'm not even joking. I've literally got a screenshot. I try to throw it up on the screen where YouTube themselves, like the actual official YouTube page, or somebody at YouTube has actually cold emailed me, and I completely ignored it by accident. It's just because I just don't check cold emails. And they ended up having to message me on Instagram saying, hey, Montel, we sent you an email. Did you see it? That alone should prove to you how ineffective cold outreach is. Even a multi-billion-dollar company can't even get through to a broke 27-year-old in his friggin' home office with a cold email. They're literally YouTube. A multi-billion-dollar brand quite literally can't even get through to a friggin' 27-year-old. What is going on here, guys? So again, cold outreach is a disruptive form of marketing because you're interrupting someone's day. They don't really care about you. It's ineffective. I've had six different people. I didn't even put the sixth screenshot in there. Do over 40,000 outreach between them, and not a single paying client was closed. And PS, like I said, it wasn't their offer. So the guy in the comment section saying it might be their offer, it's not their offer. They are literally paying clients to work with them. So they can't even sell something that's free. Not only can they not sell something that's free, they can't even sell something that's free and then they pay their clients. So that basically means, have you ever heard the expression, you can't even pay me to do that? Like, that's literally what's going on right now. You couldn't even pay me to go to work with you. That's literally what's happening right now. It's also, cold outreach is a form of one-to-one marketing. It's not one-to-many marketing. Meaning, if you want to reach out to 10,000 businesses in a month, right, you physically need to either scrape leads, do it manually, or get someone else to do it. Basically, it's a whole bunch of manual work. Or scraping leads, still a lot of manual work that goes into that because you have to qualify them. But you have to basically identify and find 10,000 individual businesses to reach out to. It's a lot of messing about. So it's not like, for example, like this YouTube video. I can record it one time, get my editor to edit it. Shout out to my editor, by the way. And then literally post it on YouTube, and it will be seen by maybe 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 3,000 people, who knows? But that's what you call one-to-many. I'm doing the work one time. One input creates a lot of output, whereas one email only reaches one business. You see what I'm trying to say? So if you want to reach out to 1,000 businesses, now you have to do one outreach to each 1,000 businesses. So that 1,000 inputs will get 1,000 output. It also has a short half-life. So cold outreach has a short half-life. Once somebody reads your email sequence, so let's say you send them an email and you have like follow-ups after using like Lemlist or Instantly.ai. Once they've read the entire sequence, it doesn't really compound over time. So there's no compound effect, and it doesn't grow you an audience long term. So after 5 years, you have literally nothing to show for it. Like if you was to give me like an option to go back and just do like post two YouTube videos a week versus doing 50 cold calls a day, I would take posting 2 YouTube videos. I am not joking. I would literally rather just post 2 YouTube videos a week for 5 years straight consistently, because in the long term, you'll have an audience to sell to after that. You would have built up massive reciprocity, you would have built up massive credibility, and you would have an audience to live off of for ages, for years to come. Whereas if you stop doing cold calls after 5 years, I mean, yes, you probably could have closed some clients. Like any idiot could probably close some clients after that many cold calls, yes, for 5 years straight, even though I just don't think it's worth it. If you lose all your clients, you just go back to zero. You've got no audience to leverage. You've got no leverage anymore. I mean, yes, you'd be good at cold calling, but you can learn cold calling in a month. Like, so after a month, you hit a point of diminishing returns. There's literally no way for you to stand out anymore. I'm not even joking. There's so many, everybody tries this, right? When you come to SMA, they try to pick Facebook ads, which is an ROI driven service. So I'm not taking away from that. I think that's a great idea, to have an ROI driven service so you can actually produce ROI for your clients. But everybody tries to do cold outreach or find some sort of niche that's untapped, which doesn't exist, or they try to find some sort of magical script that gets through somehow, doesn't exist, or they try to offer some sort of crazy new offer that somebody's never heard of, which honestly just doesn't exist. Everybody's read $100 million offers by Alex Hormozi. You're not different. Like, quite literally, you're just not different. And I tell people to stand out, you need to build a brand, and then they're like, oh no, I don't really want to do that. And that's like almost like saying you want to go left, but you don't want to go left. You're still going to go right. I'm like, you in order to be different and do different and get different results, you actually have to be different. And what is different right now? Different right now is building a brand around your services, quite literally. So pretty much all guarantees have been done. Everybody has access to all the tools like Instantly.ai and copywriting AI and all these crazy AIs. Every niche is being approached. So you're literally just sounding and doing the same things as everybody else. Everybody has access to, like I said, the copywriting tools, automation tools. So everybody's able to blast out thousands of emails and do thousands of outreach. And everybody's hiring VAs to do outreach for them. So that you're not different doing any of that, like quite literally. Bet you any money that you think you're different doing that, but you're just genuinely not. And I just want to ask you this. When was the last time you actually genuinely bought something from a complete stranger because they sent you a cold email / cold called you? I want to ask you this then. Also, if I personally were to cold call you and ask you to basically set up a call so I could pitch you on maybe one of my programs, what would be your honest reaction? If I cold called you right now at the blue and said, hey, are you interested in scaling your agency? Blah, 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 and tried to get you on a call about scaling your agency, and you didn't know who I was, like completely just never heard of Montel Gordon before, like this is the first time you ever heard of me, what would your honest reaction be? What would your genuine, honest reaction be? Well, that's exactly what you're basically causing when you do outreach. I know your reaction would be like, you'd probably tell me to F off, to be honest with you. If somebody cold called me and they tried to pitch me on some sort of like meeting so they could then pitch me the actual thing, the service, and I just didn't know who they were at all, I would literally, if I got a cold call the other day and I literally just put it down, I'm not joking, I literally just put the phone down and I literally blocked the number like within 10 seconds of ending the call. But you'd probably call me a scam, or you'd think it's a scam, or you'd be like, yeah, I'm so glad I didn't take this call. Who is this guy? He's annoying. You'd probably tell me to F off, to be honest with you. And also with cold outreach, I've noticed that you have to resort to paying your clients' ad spends or their rent just to stand out. This is obviously a joke, but I've noticed that a lot of people, in order to quote unquote stand out with cold outreach, because it's just not a way to stand out, you end up having to resort to doing some very desperate things, such as like paying your client's rent or paying your client's ad spend, like we saw in this example on the computer just a second ago, just so you can kind of one up somebody. And then when you one up somebody, eventually someone's going to come around and offer something else that one ups you. So if you're offering, we work for free and then we give you $500 on top of that, if it doesn't work, somebody's going to come around and be like, we work for free as well, but we pay you $1,000 on top of that. Another idiot's then going to come along and to outcompete the both of you. He's going to be like, okay, well, we work for free and we pay your ad spend, and on top of that, we give you $500 if it doesn't work. So it's just going to keep going and going and going until it's just a race to the bottom. That's literally what I mean by when I say it's we've hit a point of diminishing returns. So here's a scenario for you, and this is just something to kind of like think about as we go on. So the scenario is 50 cold emails a day versus adding 50 people on Facebook/LinkedIn a day, with obviously content being put out there, one piece of content per day over a period of like 1 to 2 years. And I'm telling you right now, if you took one person versus another person and he did 50 cold calls a day, and this other person over here just added 50 people on LinkedIn or Facebook, I know that LinkedIn has a couple limits and whatnot, but just ignore those limits. But if you literally took these two people, right, I genuinely would be able to get this person over here who's doing the 50 ads on social media per day plus content dropping per day. So, he's dropping one piece of content a day for a year straight. After a year, I'm telling you, this guy over here would be winning all the time, every single time. And even if he wasn't, I'm telling you, when this guy loses a client or two clients, he has to go back from zero all over again, because he has no leverage. At this point though, this guy will start building up an audience. 50 people per day, you're adding them. If you actually do the math, 365 days a year times 50 per day, you're growing a very significant audience over time, is what I'm trying to say. So this is a slightly longer term play, but it works much better. If you want to be in the game for 1 to 2, 3, 5 years down the line, and you want to be making 50K a month and all those crazy numbers and all crazy stuff, this is the way to go about it. And you want that sustainable as well. You want it sustainably, not just 50K a month, 1 month, and then you lose a couple clients and now you have to bomb the phones and cold call again. I'm talking 50K a month consistently. If you lose a client, you're not worried about it because you've got an audience of like 3,000 people to reach out to, or even post one time on your Facebook page and you're getting people coming inbound to you. That's the difference. Or even, in fact, I would take even just doing free 10-minute long YouTube videos a week for 2 years straight than do 50 cold calls a day for 2 years straight as well. So let's break down what warm outreach is. So those are all the kind of like the cons, and let's actually show you how the actual warm outreach fixes pretty much all of these. If you start doing warm outreach, you literally and almost instantaneously stand out from the crowd, because to get different, you must be different. And warm outreach is a way to go about posting content on your LinkedIn page. For example, you start adding people on your LinkedIn page. It took me 33 days to actually land my first client when I did this. That was off the back of doing 15 months of cold outreach. So 33 days versus 15 months. Quite literally the difference. It instantly stood me out from the crowd because nobody's willing to put their face out there, put their name out there, which is good for you, because 99% of the people that are watching this are going to be so scared to actually go out there and start building what I like to call the hybrid personal brand around the agency, that you're probably just going to be able to do this and get like really good success. Like quite literally, not instantaneous. I won't say instantaneous, you're going to get good success, but you're instantly going to stand out. Put it that way. Because most people are just scared. They're just trying to get some clients. They don't really believe in their services. All they're doing is just blasting cold outreach and just like offering some weird janky guarantees and stuff like that. Just try and get clients. So number 2 is there's no need to offer guarantees. Let me give you an actual example. When you have a strong audience, right? And I always say this, and this is a saying that I created, those that rely on having world-class guarantees and offers only have to do so to compensate for the fact that they have a weak audience. Let me explain what I mean by that. If Alex Hormozi or Iman Gadzhi, for example, was to start and I'll pick the worst niche right now. The worst niche right now is to offer Facebook ads for e-commerce brands, right? That is the most saturated niche you can possibly think of, right? These guys, Alex Hormozi, Iman Gadzhi, could literally open a marketing agency and pull out their mobile phone, record one video or create one post on their actual Instagrams, because they've got a massive audience. And the post could literally just say, starting a new marketing agency, 10K a month our service fee, no guarantees, book a call below. I'm telling you right now, because their audience is so big, they will sell out of that immediately. You're telling me that they can't even get one client for 10K a month with no guarantee? Of course they could. The audiences are massive. Now, I'm not saying that you need to build like a crazy massive audience or be like the next Iman Gadzhi or Alex Hormozi or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that when you have an audience, you have leverage. When you also have an audience, you can do one-to-many marketing and it compounds over time. So these guys, in fact, that scenario right there alone should prove to you that it's not actually your offer. It's not your business. It's not your service delivery model that everybody says. It's not that you've got a weak guarantee. It's just that your approach is just so saturated. Like literally, Iman Gadzhi could post on his friggin' YouTube that he's starting a new clothing brand and he could literally take a blank hoodie and just print the words monk mode on it. And he would probably sell more t-shirts than you can get clients. Quite literally, and make more money from just selling one literal hoodie at $50 per hoodie than you could if you were selling like a $3,000. In fact, like I said in this video, there's literal people out there that are offering free trials, plus they're paying their clients ad spend, and they can't even sell their services for free. For free, guys, because your approach is just so oversaturated. And like I said, they could have terrible pricing, they could drop one YouTube video, no guarantee, and they would still be able to sell out because they have this thing called an audience. Now, obviously warm outreach, when you actually start leveraging warm outreach, building up your audience over time, what I like to call people collecting, adding people on Facebook, adding people on LinkedIn, following people on Instagram and getting them to follow you by using very small Instagram ads. If you want help with that, just DM me the word ads on Instagram and I'll see if I can genuinely help you with that. But basically, warm outreach, it builds you an audience over time and it compounds over time. And honestly, that's game changing. For example, I can drop this one YouTube video right here and it could be seen 1 year down the line and the views will compound over time. Or I could create a LinkedIn account and just start adding a bunch of real estate agents like I did and keep that system running. And what happens is I add 10 people a day, add 10 people a day, 10 people a day. 2 years down the line, I've got a whole bunch of real estate agents that know who I am, that now, I've built reciprocity with, built credibility with. And when I post on my LinkedIn, anything to do with Facebook ads for real estate agents, they're going to be more obliged to work with me. They're going to be warm to who I am. So warm outreach is also personal as well. This is just a new way of doing business in 2023, honestly, guys. Like, be a person. People buy people. So everything that you probably are doing online is obviously being tracked. For example, like when you go to get a job these days, people are going to like your online profiles are literally like your CVs. So treat your profile like a CV, like a landing page. So it shows your personality and builds trust. I've noticed that a lot of people, right, on just YouTube itself, this channel right now that you're watching, have decided to work with me, helping them scale their agency or whatever it is, simply because of me. As in, like, they relate to me as a person. So they could have gone and picked Iman Gadzhi's program and, gone with the multi-mega crazy successful Uber successful entrepreneur, but they opted to work with me instead, simply due to me or them resonating with me. Some people obviously resonate with Iman Gadzhi more, but some people do resonate with me more. So even when the market's saturated, you will literally get clients come to you because of you. They actually want to work with you because, again, people buy people. So this also, when you do warm outreach, it eliminates awkward sales calls. I've noticed that when cold outreach does work, by the way, when it does work, I don't really think it works that often, to be honest with you, but when it does work, the rare occasion that it does work, your sales calls are very awkward because you have to sell yourself and clients ask you for like references, testimonials, and you have to kind of like sell yourself as well as your service. So it's a lot more selling that you have to do because people are just so cold. And that's why it's called a cold outreach. It's kind of a tongue twister. With this, like I said, it cannot become saturated because, building a hybrid personal brand cannot become saturated because you are your own unique person with your own unique experience, your own unique quirks. People literally work with me, like I said, due to them resonating with me more than someone like Iman Gadzhi, for example, and obviously vice versa. Now, it's one-to-many outreach as well. After building an audience on LinkedIn and Facebook, because obviously you can get instant clients when you start reaching out. Obviously, you add people collect, you start reaching out to them, to all the people that connect with you. That's kind of like your warm outreach. And then when you actually build an audience on LinkedIn, for example, you can literally post stories, you can post content, you can post all that sort of stuff, and it will be seen by your audience, which, if you build your audience over time, long term, make sure you're doing this long term, you can literally post one piece of content, do the work one time, and get hundreds of leads seeing that. AKA, that's one input to get multiple output back out, aka this YouTube video. I like to use this YouTube video because you're literally watching it. What is the view count right now? It's not just one. I know it's not just one. Unless you're the very, 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 very first person to watch this, even if you watch, just refresh the page, you can literally see that it's going, the view counter is going up. I'm doing the work one time and it's reaching out to multiple people. Another example would be creating an Instagram ad. Again, message me the word literally just ads, and I'll see if I can genuinely help you set this up. But I can set up one Instagram ad. It takes me 30 seconds to record it, 60 seconds, 90 seconds to record it. Blast that as an ad. I do the work one time and it brings me inbound leads every single day at $2 per follower. So every $2 I spend on the ad brings me a follower. Every 40 followers, I jump on a call, for example. The more you post, the warmer your audience gets as well. So it's like free retargeting. And the more you post, the more touch points you build up. I've noticed that sometimes, it's a great point right here, sometimes it takes over 50 plus touch points with one prospect just to get them to buy. This is simply impossible to do with cold emails / cold calls, because what are you realistically going to do after your 5 email sends? I know a lot of you have fell into the trap of doing Lemlist, like using tools like Lemlist, or, following up. You're basically following up with people in a sequence. So if they don't reply to your cold call, you call them back. If they don't buy, then you try to get them on a different day. But most of the time, you guys are maybe doing like 5 to 10 different touch points, aka you're sending 10 emails to one business. And if they don't reply after 10, you kind of like maybe circle back with them over maybe in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or whatever it is. But I've noticed that like you're not realistically going to email just one business 50 times over, because you're just going to literally be told to F off. Like quite literally after like the 5th email, it starts to get awkward, to be honest with you guys. And it does. What you're going to do as well, you're going to cold call the same business 50 times over. Like they're just going to tell you to F off, to be honest with you. Whereas there's been people, probably even you watching this, that have been subscribed to my YouTube channel, and they've watched my content over and over and over again for the last 2 years. So they've probably watched like 70 videos or something like that. Then eventually they decide to book in a call and become a client after literally learning every nook and cranny about me. You don't have a system like that. You literally don't have a system like that. So with warm outreach, like I said as well, it builds you a real asset over time. So for example, after 5 years of doing cold outreach, right? You don't really have an audience to show for that. You don't have a real tangible asset that you could use to get clients, except for the skill of cold emailing / cold calling. Whereas if you are to do warm outreach and build an audience over time, after 5 years, let's say you lose all your clients, you've still got an audience to market to. Whereas if you do cold calls for 5 years, you stop doing cold calls for 5 years, you've literally got nothing to show for the last 5 years in your entire life. I mean, you could have closed a couple clients here and there and whatnot, don't get me wrong. But if you go back to zero, you have to start all again from scratch, quite literally. Now, if you want to take this to the next degree, if you build a YouTube channel because of the inbuilt kind of like SEO features, you can take advantage of what I like to call intent-based marketing instead of what I like to call disruptive marketing. There you go. Disruptive marketing in cold outreach is kind of like you reach out to somebody and you interrupt their day. Whereas over here, you can leverage what you call intent-based marketing. And what I mean by that is people are already searching for ways to solve their pain problem. AKA, you probably came across SMMA because you wanted to make money online. You was in pain. You started to typing in how to make money online. You came across SMMA, you came across dropshipping, or you probably came across this video or even my channel by searching like how to do cold outreach or why cold outreach sucks or whatever it is. For example, like people learn on YouTube certain things, for example, how to cook a certain meal. They're literally already on YouTube trying to solve a painful problem. So you can take advantage of that and put your content in front of people that already have a burning desire to the point where they've actually taken action and searched for the thing that you help them for. AKA, there are e-commerce brand owners out there that are literally typing into YouTube how to run Facebook ads or how to leverage email marketing. If you're an email marketing agency, you can put videos up specifically talking to e-commerce brand owners, and when an e-commerce brand owner searches that, you can try rank your video up, over time, or even just boost it with like little very paid ads here and there, and get your video shown in front of the people that already want your kind of like solution, which basically means they have intent. Now your content can be discovered like 3 years down the line and still convert, like especially when you're on YouTube. Like let's say I post this video, somebody might be watching this in 2025, 2026, which is crazy. So you do work one time and it compounds over time, over years. And if you've ever bought a program from me or Iman Gaji or someone else, then you know that inbound works. As mentioned previously, sometimes it takes 2 years for somebody on my YouTube channel to become a client. And you personally, if you're doing cold outreach, you're just not going to see benefits of a system like this because you don't have a system like this, simply put, because you've got no long-term strategy. All you're doing right now is spraying cold outreach and praying. You're spraying and praying. You don't actually have a long-term conversion mechanism or long-term conversion funnel to actually funnel people down. Like I said, there's people on this YouTube channel, like I keep saying, that have been watching my channel for 3 entire years straight, and it's only just now that they've decided, you know what, I want to work with Montel, he knows what he's talking about, let's actually book in, and then they go and wire me like 4K, 5K straight away, just like that, just literally just like that, because I've actually built so much reciprocity, and I've stayed in their sphere of influence. They've been in my sphere of influence for that long. Now, every single person you look up to and you've bought from has got you as an inbound client. This is the craziest thing. that I keep seeing, guys. You guys are being sold to do cold outreach by people that have got you as a warm inbound lead, and then they tell you to go and do the direct opposite of what they just did to get you as a client. So everybody that you look up to and that you've bought from, you've been an inbound client to them. So everybody's doing this besides you. In fact, you do the direct opposite. In fact, if you don't believe me, just look around you, right? Look around you right now. Look at the phone that you have in your hand if you're watching this on a phone. Look at the computer you have. Look at the clothing you're wearing. Look at the programs you've previously bought. If you haven't bought any, don't, insert something else here. Pretty much everything you've bought, you've been the customer that went to the particular brand and bought it. This is how the actual economy works, guys. Like, forget the cold outreach stuff. Why do you think you don't see like Elon Musk trying to send cold emails to people to try to sell friggin' Tesla Model Ys or whatever they're called? You build a brand and people come to you. I don't understand, like, people, I'm sure you understand this, guys. I can't understand why you're still doing cold outreach when you know this. If you've ever bought a program, just ask yourself, what were the actual steps that you took in order to buy that program? You probably came across it online. You subscribed to the dude. You watched the dude's content over and over and over again, or you followed them on Instagram. You watched their content over and over and over again. You got built up those touch points, and then eventually you decided, you know what, enough's enough. Let's jump into this particular program. If you can take that system, build it for your agency, that is literally what I like to call the warm inbound strategy. So warm outreach organically, and then warm organic kind of like building, plus very small paid ads here and there, like $10 a day. That's what I like to call the hybrid personal brand. And if you need help with this, book in a call below with me directly. We'll speak directly, me and you, and see if this is genuinely a good fit. And by the way, in the program, we teach you everything you need, from starting your agency to creating your offer, to actually creating content, to then people collecting organically, to then running ads and scaling up the business that way, so you can fill out your calendar with predictable sales calls and actually get to 10K, 20K, 30K per month, depending on your art, even if you're at zero. And by the way, if you do not get an ROI on the program, we actually work with you for free continuously. I do as well, by the way, directly work with you for free until you actually get an ROI with the program. So it's actually a program that's infallible is the word I'm looking for. You cannot fail my program because of the guarantee. Literally, if you don't make an ROI on the program, we work with you, or should I say, I work with you directly for free every single week until you actually land clients and actually make an ROI from the program. So you cannot lose. Book in a call below if you want to be part of that. Anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit longer, but yeah, stop doing cold outreach, guys. Honestly, it sucks. Like, you're literally being sold to do cold outreach by people you've bought from using inbound systems. These people are making all of their money from inbound systems. At least when I tell you to do inbound systems, I'm getting you as an inbound client and then teaching you how to do inbound as well. These dudes are not doing that. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.